Hello everyone, welcome back to another Invader video. After 20 videos, I hope you guys all enjoy the series so far, and then you guys leveled up your invasion skills, and I'm pretty sure all of you guys can make very slippery, hard to deal with invasion that wrecks your opponent. Today I think it's kind of a time that we summarize a little bit of the principles, and then we check how a professional player has used those principles in his invasion. So the first principle is to attach to our opponent's stones. And the second principle is to find a move that gives us as many options as possible. The third principle is, of course, something I have talked about all the time, this idea of counterattack. So we'll look at how a professional player has used these principles in his invasion. Last move, black plays a big knight, forming a very scary moyo. This moyo is a lot more difficult than the moyos I've talked about previously. Well, why is that? Because first of all, black has a very strong wall that extends from the top to the bottom. The second difficulty comes from the fact that the space for our invasion is very limited. There's only 6 lines that we can choose from. So this is definitely a very difficult situation. And then we're going to look at how the white player, very good professional player, has dealt with this problem. The first move, white attaches at m3, right? This follows directly from our principle 1. That is to attach to our opponent's stone when you are invading. For example, if you don't attach to your opponent's stone, well, then your opponent feels very relaxed, right? He can just go ahead and attack you. And now, well, first of all, forget about making ice space on the bottom because there's just not enough space. Well, secondly, if you hop, well, guess what? This is not going to look pleasant, right? And then it looks like we played okay moves, but it's actually not okay. Why is that? Because none of these moves followed our principles. The attach, on the other hand, follows very tightly with our principle 1, which is why this is played by a professional. So why do we want to attach to our opponent's stone so much, right, when we are invading? You might have this question. Well, the reason is that we want to exchange as many moves as possible with our opponent to facilitate our invasion. For example, if our opponent is not careful and he just keeps playing moves, then we will keep attaching to our opponent. When our opponent extends, we keep attaching to our opponent. Look at every single move I'm playing. It's principle 1, principle 1, principle 1, right? Attach, attach, attach. And now we realize this is a very difficult to deal with problem for black. If black Ataris, we connect. If black Ataris, we Atari here. And now, as we can see, it's white's turn, right? White is able to gain so many stones inside black's territory for free. And this is all thanks to our approach. That is to attach the opponent in order to exchange moves with our opponent. Now, our invasion becomes a piece of cake, right? It looked very difficult, but now it looks just beautiful for white on the board. Black has to now fix the weakness, and I'm pretty sure any one of you is going to feel very, very comfortable getting this group out and alive and live with decency. That is why in the actual game, black decides to just extend. He tells white, you know what? 1 exchange is enough, right? You go figure out the rest. I'm going to give you 1 exchange, period. The next move, white follows up with J4. This is a very well thought move, and I really like this move. This follows our principle 2, that is to play a move that gives you as many options as possible. With this move, white looks at many things. The jump here, the weakness that black has here, the Kosumi here, and also the block at M2. right? We can tell with this J4 move that follows our principle 2, all of a sudden it feels so slippery, right? Like these two guys are so hard to catch because they have so many follow-ups that we cannot guard all at once. Regardless, black has to keep playing, so he caps on top. He realizes that the J6 cannot be allowed. So at this point, this is still not so easy, right? Even if white played very correctly so far, right? Invasion is still a very long process. It doesn't get resolved in a 1 or 2 moves. We have to consistently play good moves. So how do we play from here? We have used our principle 1, principle 2. Is it time for our principle 3? Well, the answer is absolutely yes. So if white just goes ahead and says, oh, I'm really afraid, I'm going to make a base and try to live, well, the more you try for this kind of stuff, the less likely it's going to happen, right? Black is going to get rid of your I space very easily. And then when you try more I space, this is even a worse move. Black is going to follow up with this move. And then white just does not have the I space, right? After trying so hard for I space, white does not have the I space. So in the actual game, white decides to follow up principle 3 tightly and go for a counterattack. If black connects, white is going to attach it at f4. Now we can see not only white is able to connect back home, but also the f3 stone is now under attack. And this is the power of counterattack. Black is no longer having the time to get rid of white's I space, rather black has to worry about his own weakness. The black player follows up by protecting the most serious weakness. And now, once again, it is not time for us to be scared. Rather, follow our principle 3. Push and cut. If black extends, white Ataris, and then Hane, and then Atari, and then extend. At this point, we can tell that black is broken into pieces thanks to white's counterattack. So likely either G6 group is going to die, or F3 group is going to die, or both are going to die. So this is a winning game for white, if the game plays out like this. What are some of the other defenses if black plays out this one, Ataris, and connects? Well, the idea of counterattack is still valid, right? Our principle 3 is still going to shine. White follows up with a Hane, forcing black to protect the corner, and then white will Atari here, and extend, and then Hane here. So at this point, I'll leave you to verify that black is dead, right? These 4 guys has no way to escape. So at this point, black decides to fix the shape, letting white capture the stone, and then black eventually gains some compensation in the corner. So the game goes like this, and now we can tell with principle 1 attach to opponent, principle 2 play a move that gives us as many options, principle 3 counterattack. White is successfully getting himself out and then destroying everything that black used to have in the center. And this is a very, very successful invasion. However, black, with very patient defense, fixing weaknesses, realizing that the counterattack was too strong, and went for a trade, was able to gain compensation in the corner. Therefore, the game is still equal from here. Alright, so thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And I'm very excited to see you guys in the next video.